Justin here today from FlyLady with a special request. Today I'd like to talk to all the husbands and all the men of all the FlyLady families that are out in FlyLady Nation, in the US and around the world, to talk to them about something special that we can do to help out our wives by helping out in the kitchen. And I know some of you men are no strangers to the kitchen. You help out with dishes and things like that. My request today is that if you haven't cooked during this time of quarantine, when there is a lot of people that are getting stressed out in homes, especially the ladies, there's a lot to do. You're never leaving the house and you've got meals to prep, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you've got to get these either on the table, you've got to get them cooked, and it's a lot of stress to have one person in the home to do this all the time. My request is that men need to step up, and there's more that we can do besides washing dishes. We can cook, and cooking is something I love to do. And one of the things I like to cook, and I'm gonna show you this evening, I like to cook a grilled flank steak. And how I do it is it's kind of on a gas grill is how I do it, but you can use charcoal, or how I'm going to do it in our recipe for this evening is I'm going to do it on cast iron. I'm going to sear it, and then I'm going to put it onto the grill for a little while, and then I'm going to take it off. With this flank steak, it is for one meal that can be fajitas, or you can do like a Brazilian style with charro beans and the flank steak. But for our purposes tonight, I am cooking fajitas for the family with flank steak. Flank steak you usually can find in your meat department of your grocery store. It's usually in a vacuum pack sealed bag already, and that's just kind of how they sell them. It's kind of a cheaper piece of meat, and so it's a little tough. But if you marinate it with the right marinades, and the marinade that I'm going to give y'all in the recipe, it needs to at least be on the meat for about 4 to 8 hours. So if you let it soak and rest in that good marinade, it kind of breaks down some of the fibers and makes it extremely tender. And I know you guys in FlyLady Nation are going to step up. You're going to help out your wives, and this is our first recipe, and I know you can do it. And a couple of other things that I'll probably talk about in future episodes is some great ways to also cook besides being on a grill or cooking in cast iron. One of my favorite things to do is I love to bake in the oven. And you say, well, but Justin, what do you like to bake? I like to bake my world famous chicken ranch nachos. I'm kind of known around our house as the party food kind of guy. But when I cook, I like to cook fun things. Like smoked chicken wings or chicken ranch nachos on a big old pan. And so what I'll usually do is grill some chicken. But what I'm telling you now, gentlemen, you can step up and help alleviate some stress in your family during this time of social isolation and distancing by stepping up in your family and do more in the kitchen to help out. And cooking can be one of those things.
Here is my flank steak recipe that I got from allrecipes.com. It is a great recipe, and you can change it up a lot depending on the kind of things you like to have in a marinade. As you can see, I use some of my favorite grilling spices along with some of the things that they have in the recipe. I use 2 different skirt steaks or flank steaks for this recipe. I mix up my marinade, and then I pour the marinade over the steaks in a Ziploc bag. Zip it up and let them rest for at least 4 hours. For this take, I have actually let it rest for 48 hours. The longer, the better. And these are some of the fixings that are going to go along with my fajita night, which is what I'll be using this steak for. Now it's time to start grilling. I have a hot grill at 400 degrees, and I sear it on a cast iron plate, 5 minutes each side. Then I take it off of the cast iron and put it directly onto the grill grate with direct heat for about 2 minutes each side, still at 400 degrees. Then it's done. I wrap it up in aluminum foil and let it rest for 5 minutes. It's good. Now it's time to open it up. It looks great. I've got some extra limes on that. I've cut it up on my cutting board into nice little strips for fajitas. And I have all the fixings set at the table. And we're ready for fajita night. It's good. Enjoy. Men can cook from FlyLady.